Leeds United, 3-0 winners over Chelsea. Brenden Aaronson scored the first goal, picking the pocket of Edward Mendy. Aaronson was sensational. Tyler Adams, terrific. Jesse Marsch pushing all the right buttons. Outfoxing Thomas Tuchel, who has become public enemy number one among U.S. fans because of his treatment of Christian Pulisic. Pulisic, again, did not start, came on in the second half. But U.S. soccer Twitter was buzzing over this one. This was a very satisfying result because of everything I just mentioned. What did you make of it?
So we mentioned last year when Jesse took over that it was emergency type of situation. So there's not a lot of, well, it's not fair to say that there's no coaching, but the type of coaching and certainly the type of team that Jesse Marsch wants, he had to make do with what he had. And he did an incredible job to keep them up. And then he had this summer to kind of implement his style and to take a breath and obviously bring in players, including, the likes of Brenden Aaronson and Tyler. And so you're seeing, I think, I don't know if it's the ideal, but it's certainly a new and improved type of Jesse Marsch team that enables him to do the things that I think he longs to do in the game. And that obviously is that incredible pressure. That obviously also, it's not just about the tactical part of it. It's about that spirit and, the belief that he instills in his players. And, he hedges his bets because he gets players that will do that. But I think it just played out perfectly. And, notwithstanding your homage to Tuchel with this ridiculous hat that you're wearing here, I thought that Tuchel not only lost the game, but I think with his comments after, I think he lost me in terms of the way that he framed that outing. Now, look, Chelsea might go on and win plenty of games, and Tuchel and Chelsea may be fine. But in this moment, I think he had the opportunity to recognize a great performance by the opposition without, just completely kissing Jesse's ass, and he just didn't take it. And I thought it was a bad look for Tuchel in that moment. We'll get to talk about Aaronson right now, but just in general, it couldn't have gone better for Leeds. I will say this, Mosse. The reason that I am watching Leeds, and I know we've watched it in the past with Bielsa, and there's an interest in all that kind of stuff, but the reason I and so many people are watching Leeds, and the reason why Twitter and social media blows up because of that, is because of the American influence. It's because there are Americans there. We are not Leeds fans. We are America fans, and that is why we are watching. And by the way, hook, line, and sinker, because that is part of the strategy of what Leeds is doing. Now, it's not at the expense of a good team. Obviously, this team is exciting. This team is something that people will want to see, and this team is beating supposed better teams and the likes of Chelsea. I don't know how long this is going to last. I hope it continues on. And Jesse was really smart after the game talking about how I'm paraphrasing here, but they still have to be hungry because he recognizes that while this is wonderful and you can put this in your pocket, there's still a lot of games to go and a lot of things that could happen and a lot of things that could go wrong in this really unique year, by the way, where there's going to be a break for the World Cup.
And I know players always want to go to the biggest clubs possible because of the prestige, but it's hard not to see the juxtaposition between Pulisic and what he's dealing with at Chelsea and Aaronson and what he's experiencing at Leeds. There was this great image of Aaronson, Adams, and Pulisic all talking at the end of the game. And I know we've talked about Pulisic possibly going to Newcastle or Manchester United, but a lot of U.S. fans saw that image and thought, man, wouldn't it be great if Pulisic could go to Leeds and you could really make this America's team.
You like that clip? Well, my State of the Union podcast drops every week. Subscribe now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You like that clip? Well, my State of the Union podcast drops twice a week right here on my very own YouTube page. The only way to stay up to date is to hit that subscribe button down below. Size the day, and see you soon.